Quincy, let's start with this, and I know you've kind of addressed this on one of your shows. You think Jimmy Haslam has been good for the Browns?
It's an interesting question, right? Because every time somebody's no longer owning the team, we tend to look at their era with rose-tinted glasses. But if you look at the era before, we were begging for somebody like Jimmy Haslam, right? When Randy Lerner owned the team, we wanted somebody who was going to be more hands-on, who's going to be willing to spend more money. The issues with Jimmy Haslam, and honestly, they really haven't popped up in the last 3 years. Like, the issues with the teams have still remained, but the issue isn't that Jimmy Haslam is overly involved. I think, and this might be a weird thing to say because I'm not even the biggest Jimmy Haslam fan of his ownership, but you can make the argument that he's probably been the best owner this team's had since they've come back, because now he's in a place where he's willing to spend to help you get better, like a Deshaun Watson deal, but he's not necessarily forcing you to make those moves, right? Like, we're not panic spending or overruling our football ops like they did in 2017 and 2018 with different kind of convoluted nonsense. And that hasn't been the case since what? They fired John Dorsey. So like 2020 has been the last time we really dealt with these problems. So I have to say, like, this is what you kind of want out of ownership. The Browns have had a lot of reasons on why they have stunk, but oddly enough, the last 2 years, I can't really blame Jimmy Haslam for those things.
No, I mean, he seems to be happy with the setup that he has with Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, and since he got that right, he's just kind of signed the checks that you want him to sign.
Yeah, I mean, keeping the guys in charge that you want to keep in charge. Now, again, this season will be the ultimate test, right? Because it hasn't been much of a test for him. A lot of this has been ramping up to get to this place. Now you're at the place where you don't just have expectations, you have very justified expectations for this team to do something. How they handle this season, if it does not go the right way, will be the ultimate test for Jimmy Haslam, because that's when patience is truly going to be tested, right? Is he going to be willing to wait this out another year and prove everybody wrong? Because if he does, we kind of have to take that impatient tag away from him, because he gave Hugh Jackson an extra year. If he gives Kevin Stefanski and company an extra year after this season, if it does not pan out, then I don't know how we can continue to call him impatient. So that's going to be the true test to see with Jimmy Haslam. It's going to be interesting to see what happens as time goes on there. But as of right now, ownership ain't the problem in Cleveland.